Hello, welcome to Sunday Chat with Nick. Good morning. It is just almost 11 a.m. Sorry for the short notice. I wasn't sure if I would have time to do a chat today. There was a lot of things going on this morning, but I was able to wrap up everything a few minutes ago. Basically, helping Anthony with him getting ready for a test and a couple projects for school that's due tomorrow. So I can have my chat. Luke Cage hit the Netflix Friday. I will not spoil anything about Luke Cage show on any of the chat. I do plan to have hello Raz. Raz is here. Hello Raz. I have watched the first 6 episodes. I watched 2 Friday, 3 last night, and 1 this morning. So I'm stopping right there. I will try my best to not binge through the entire 13 episode. I have watched the first 6 episodes. Whenever you, Raz, and Who Dad, whenever he's back this week from his vacation, don't spoil monks then. I won't say what's my opinion on the show. I will do my best not to say anything about the show until Raz, I, and Monk and Who Dads do our live chat. Hello from New York City. Who Dad is in New York City? Ooh, are you there for vacation? Who Dad? I'm guessing you are on vacation based on what you told me yesterday. If you are, enjoy. Right now, to me, the weather in New York, the New England is awesome. Hello, Dead Clone, because I was in Boston 2 weeks ago, and the weather was awesome. I mean, t-shirt and shorts, no humidity. We packed light, didn't have to bring any jacket whatsoever. So if you're in New York City right now, I imagine the weather is nice. Raz, you're in 2 episodes, so you're ready for the first chat. So as I talk to Who Dad, oh bummer, wet and rainy for Who Dad in Boston, in New York. Um, I am open, Raz, to have the live chat discussing Luke Cage first 2 episodes or first 3. Depend on how you and Who Dad feel on any channels. I think the best thing for us to do, the 3 of us, is to rotate the live chat in for all 3 channels so that we can each host a show. So if we're gonna do it in say 3 shows, then it's 4 episodes per show. So it all depends on how we all have caught up by say Wednesday. Then we can decide to do a show between the 3 of us and talk about the first 4 episodes. For me, I'm done with the first 6. I will save the remaining 7 show this week after I will have a live chat discussion on the first maybe 4 episodes. No need for me to rush through. I learned not to binge through too much. It's been rainy here too. Yesterday, the weather had been extremely rainy, which I don't mind. I like the rain. The only thing I don't like about the rain is not be able to cut my grass, because down here, when it rains a lot and it's humid, the grass grows like weed. They grow so fast. I mean, my grass can go up, 6 inches in 4 days. So it's a pain in the butt to cut the grasses when it grows so fast and it's wet. Anyhow, so that's about Luke Cage as far as what my plan is for this week. So hopefully, as soon as I know from Raz and Who Dad, I will make the announcement by Wednesday for sure on when and where the discussion is. Look like Who Dad has watched episode 1 as well. I have done my best to not watch and hear any review. So I am completely in the dark as far as other what the what other people think about the show. So I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see what other people think about. I have my opinion on what the first 6 episodes are. Other than that, let's jump to a different topic. Um, the Sci-Fi Channel. I want to bring attention to the Sci-Fi Channel. The Sci-Fi Channel to me has been a decent channel in many ways that it tried. It lived up to its name, Sci-Fi. It tried its best to put out shows. Rare said my grass has been cut every week because of this stupid rain. Yeah, it have to. I mean, normally for me, if I don't cut the grass once a week, it looks pretty raw out there. But when it rained like this, it looked pretty raw even after 3 or 4 days. Um, Back to the Sci-Fi Channel. I commend Sci-Fi to try. Okay, that is definitely not a big budget channel. It has a lot of horrible, bad sci-fi horror. Alligator, shark, all kind of crazy creature that they're trying to bring in their movies. I can't even watch those movies. But as far as TV show, I watch Dark Matters. Can't get into Killjoy. Killjoy is it lived by its name, Killjoy. Watching that show, I tried but after 3 episodes, it killed the joy of wanting to watch that show. Done. Z Nation, but my favorite has been. I thought Dark Matters was decent for a low budget sci-fi. Decent. The characters are decent. And yesterday I tried to watch Van Helsing. Oh my lord. Wow. Horrendous. Okay, I watched the first 2 episodes and I can't imagine watching any more of that show. Horrendous. The lead actress that for Van Helsing, she's the best part of the show. But for the rest of the supporting cast, my God. Oh my God. It's I don't even know what to say about that. Oh, horrendous. I mean, I cringe. I mean, I couldn't stop cringing. I have seen Defiant. Defiant was decent. It's canceled, and I was kind of bummed. It has potential. It had potential. It has a complex enough story, and I enjoyed it. I was bummed to hear that it was canceled. Yeah, Dark Matters, Raz is in the second season, and I thought the second season is really good. First season was okay for me. Like I said, when you have a space science fiction show with extremely low budget, I like what they can do with the limited budget that they have. It's certainly interesting enough for me to keep watching, but wowza, as far as Van Helsing, oh my God, that I who knows, maybe other people like it more than I did. But wow, it's one of the worst show yet on Sci-Fi. I'm bummed out. I like Van Helsing. I like the concept. It's nothing really anything new or of shattering or worth mentioning, but as far as the show and come down to acting and writing, and that show fails in just about every way. 12 Monkeys, I like. I need to binge through second season. I watched the first season and I like it. Like it enough that I definitely plan to watch the second season. Rob Wise Guy is here. Hello. Listening at work. Wow, working on a Saturday. Here's to you, Rob, for a man that have to work on a Sunday, while most of us can enjoy. Um, what else is news? Oh, on the movie front, um, it was not a surprise for me to hear that the character Ape Man is coming to the Black Panther movie. For those that watch my videos, I know I mentioned Ape Man and the potential of Ape Man in the future movies. If not, I know I talked to Dr. Van Chilla privately and joked with him that, you know, Ape Man might be a character uh, in the Marvel movie universe. This is way back 2 years ago when they announced Black Panther going to be in the movie. But I'm kind of glad that they did, and this has nothing to do with um, speculation or any of that stuff. Okay, um, I like the idea that this character is being introduced in Wakanda. I also like. I also think that this is one of those characters that's going to be in multiple movies because he can be what Loki is for Thor and Asgard because this character is a lot more. He's not just evil. He's not like Zemo or one of these guys that's just like he has legit desire to rule and run Wakanda his way, and he has his supporter. At least from the comic books that I read over the years. So I like the fact that they introduced him, and my guess is he's not going to be one of those villains because I don't think he's going to be like Loki. That's why I brought up Loki. I don't think he's going to be just a pure villain. I think there's more to his character and his dynamic with Black Panther and the ruling of Wakanda in many movies and storylines to come. So if that's true, that's great. I look forward to that. I want Marvel to uh, enrich the Wakanda with a lot of interesting characters that can give Black Panther a good supporting cast so that a lot of things can stay in Wakanda as far as storylines. I like to see Black Panther storyline to be more limited to that area, at least for the first movie or two, instead of like, here this is where he's from, and boom, let's have him in New York City or something like that. So I'm all for that. Hello, liking the cover is here. He also watched the first two episodes of Luke Cage. Yes. Yes, the first two episodes of Luke Cage. Yes. Hopefully I can speak my mind on what I think of the first two episodes in the chat sometime this week. It's been hard for me not to talk to people about the show. Certainly, I have a few friends that have emailed me and text me about the show to see what my opinions are, and I have to politely told them to wait until they see my live chat. Can't spoil it, And plus, really, there are enough channels on YouTube that already give you a review of the show. There's enough people binging the show and want to be the first out the gate to talk about the show, just like movie reviews, okay? YouTube's had turned into a race of who's the first to review something. I'm not in that game. I'm not there to try to beat everyone to the punch and binge through the first 13 episodes Friday night so that I can be the first at 2 a.m. Saturday morning to give a review. That's not me. There's plenty of channels that already done that. Dead Clone is here. Hello, Dead Clone. So Ape Man, interesting news as far as movie front, as far as Doctor Strange being talked about. in other movies, making a cameo appearances, not a surprise. I think the involvement of Doctor Strange in other movies, such as the Avengers, or the inclusion of Doctor Strange in the Avengers team in the future, has a lot to do with how people perceive his movie, right? Just like Ant-Man. When Marvel did Ant-Man the movie, certainly they would love to use him in other movies, but if the movie bomb, if the public say Ant-Man is stupid, you most likely would not see him in Captain America. Okay, so the fact that he was well received and liked, it's not a surprise to see him being included in future movies, as well as his sequel with the Wasp. And the same can be said with Doctor Strange. The fact that they talk about Doctor Strange being in other storylines already, I think it gives us hint on what Marvel and Disney think about the movies, because the movie might not come out for a few more weeks or months. The insider has seen it. Okay, I think those insiders that have seen it and the few lucky folks that have got a chance to see the movie, they must have seen something good enough, interesting enough, that they believe that this character is going to be well received and the movie will do well, that they talk about him appearing in other Marvel movies. So that's my take. For those that uh, are curious on my take on what's how Doctor Strange is going to do, I said look at what they plan to do as far as him in other movies, and you can take a hint on what they think he will do, because they must already saw the movie, the final cut, and like it enough to include him and write him in other stories, okay, in the movie. So that's a good thing. I'm excited. I'm big fan of Doctor Strange, even though I don't know how the magical realm of Marvel is going to look like on the big screen. Marvel is making a big moves, moving away from the typical superheroes. Strictly Comics, as well as Kyle from New Zealand or Australia. Hello from far away, wherever you are, Kyle. And the great legend is here as well. My goodness. And the original Dr. Von Chilla. Good morning, John. Good morning, all. I was right. I watched a few of Kyle Waka video, and Kyle is fairly new to the community. So for those not subscribed to Kyle Waka, check him out. He's on the live feed right now. Just click on him and you can sub to his channel. And the Comic Preacher is selling his 2 big books. For those that haven't seen Nate's newest video, he is selling his Fantastic Four #5 and Captain America #2. Now that's a doozy. Good luck on the sales. Hopefully you'll net a decent price, especially on Captain America issue #2. That's an awesome book to have. Okay, that's a book that I don't have either. So, and I have always recommend that book to people that say that they can't afford #1. #1 is out of the range of most of us. Okay, but if you can get #2, that ain't a bad thing. When people are hyping about Deadpool's second appearances and just about every season D-lister characters on the second appearances, Captain America second appearances, now that is something to talk about. Okay, Um, let's see. Well, a lot of people in the chat. So I try my best to stay in at the same speed with the live feed, because the live feed discussion sometimes can go real fast. If 10 people types in 10 different sentences, it went right by me. So I try my best to not do that. But for those that does not know, Nate, the comic preacher, is getting married soon. I'm guessing early next year. I'm guessing. He was engaged earlier this year, I think. And he's selling some books in order to fund the wedding. Nick, the Great Legend, asks, Nick, when do you think the Fantastic Four comic will come back? If I have to guess, maybe in 2 years. I say within the next 2 years, you will see. This is just my crazy prediction. Nothing about anything I know, but I say within the next 2 years, the Fantastic Four property will return to Marvel. And then Marvel will reboot the movies and reboot the comic books. Speaking of the Great Legend, when is your next auction show, the Great Legend? Let me know, Great Legend, when your next live auction show is. Okay, I don't know if I ready yet to sell anything, but I would definitely like to tune in to see what's going on and how things are done, because I'm not up to speed on how the auction show are run. Certainly, I need to research on the prices on the books that I want to sell, so that I have an idea of what's the minimum bid should be. That's my thing. My thing is I need to figure that out before I can participate in your auction sales. October 15th. Okay, let me write that down, my friend. Let me write that down. For those that are curious in if ETA Nick is going to be selling something, maybe October 15th. I will try to stay in touch with the Great Legend before then. Yes, Kai Waka is not happy about X-Men being phased out, as well as Strictly Comics. I understand Marvel and Disney decision. It's a business decision. And regardless of what I like or what I don't like about that, I have said this before. I'm not a big, huge fan of most of the X-Men movies. I mean, I like them enough, but I'm not like, oh my God, those are the greatest movie of all time. They are not. But but because Fox have the right to the movies, the right to do with what they want to do, whatever they want to do with the movies, Marvel is trying to. I think Marvel and Disney trying to keep continuity within their movie universe as well as the comic books. And to do so, they kind of have to phase out the X-Men, so it's just so that it's less cumbersome and less confusing. There's more reason than that, okay? But that's one of the reason, and that's the one part of the reason that I can understand, because they have no control of what Fox do with the characters in the movie universe, and Marvel is too anal to want to keep everything in sync in all the storylines. To me, it's kind of silly. I don't agree with Marvel and Disney ways of trying to tie both the Netflix shows and the ABC shows and the Marvel movie into one cohesive storylines, as well as trying to keep the comic book in the same continuity. It's a big mess, okay? Strictly Comics ask, which X-Men issue will retain the value as the years go on? Hulk 181 would be probably the most valuable one just because Wolverine. Wolverine is always, well, up to now, Wolverine is the king of the mutant universe. Um, as much as I love Professor X and Xavier and Cyclops and Sunfire and the rest of the characters, the rest of the mutants just are not as popular. Okay, that's the fact. That is outside of Deadpool, the recent rise of Deadpool. There's not a heck of a lot of characters that uh, carry a lot of weight. Okay, it's sad, but that's the truth. Raz says, I say phase them out. Hugh Jackman is probably tired of playing Wolverine, and plus anything to do with nasty Bryan Singer. Keep Bryan Singer away from the franchise is okay with me. Raz, you echo my thoughts exactly. As much as I love Hugh Jackman, as much as I think he does a wonderful job as Wolverine, I can't say about the rest of the mutants that have been used in the movie. With the exception of Xavier, I am on record saying I don't care how great Wolverine is, Magneto is or has been on the screen. I'm tired of seeing Magneto in every X-Men movie. Enough already. My God. As a reader, I don't think I want to see Magneto in every issue, okay? Just like in the movie. Enough already. Write something fresh for God's sake. To me, um, two of the most overrated people in the Fox movie industry is Bryan Singer and the writer of those X-Men movie. Holy cow. I can rant a long time on the writer of that movie. The same person that also co-write the Fantastic Four. Yes, he also create that hot mess, and it is funny how people kind of sweep that under the rug and talk up on how great he write the X-Men movies. He wrote a lot of stinkers also. Strictly Comics want Omega Red in a Wolverine movie. That would be a fresh villain, but I'm not sure if he is or he won't be. I don't know. The Wolverine movie that's coming out, it's Old Man Logan mixed up with other storylines, and it's gonna be a hot mess of a mess. Okay, from seeing what they keep doing with the storyline, with the mutant storylines, it's gonna be a hot mess. Yes, Raz, I look forward for a live show with you, for sure, with Luke Cage. I would love to hear what you think about Luke Cage, because I will keep my mouth zip for now. Half man, half amazing is here. Good luck, sir, to your ego. A team on the rise. On the rise. It is so refreshing to see. As painful as it was as a Steeler fan last week, I was not surprised. The Steelers have a funny way of playing like garbage. When people talk up on how great they are. It's best when they are underdogs, because they tend to play down. I have seen enough disappointing game with the Steelers that whenever I see everyone picking them to win, I see red lights. But regardless, I am always excited to see a young quarterback doing well. Always. Always. Okay. Because I am so. One thing about the NFL, I cannot stand to see some of the worst quarterbacks keep playing. Horrendous. Okay, I am so happy to see Dax, the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboy fan. Okay, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but when I see the young Dax play so well with so much poise, yeah, I like it. Just as the young quarterback of the Eagles, Wentz, like it. I like it. I like to see that. Okay, I'm tired of seeing these garbage quarterbacks that keep on playing. Tannehill, oh, please, please. Cutler, oh, good God. It is a bummer. Okay, it's a bummer to me to see Kaepernick to have such a quick rise and then something happened. I don't get it. Whether it's coaching direction, how can somebody with so much potential that shows so much poise, all that stuff in one season, completely fell apart the next 2 seasons? So when it's come down to a young quarterback, I like to see, the young guns get a shot. I, as a Steeler fan, and as painful as it was to see how poorly they played last week, I am all for letting the young player play. I don't care if the secondary is a bunch of rookies. Let them play. Throw them in the fire, for God's sake. Why draft somebody, pay them millions, and let them sit on the bench for 3 years? Okay, enough football rant. Am I on the Wentz wagon? No. I root for him to do well. Because I thought he was a better quarterback than the other top picks. I thought the Rams made a mistake of picking the other one. Because I recognize one thing about the NFL, I'm a big proponent of drafting a franchise quarterback, okay? Because there aren't that many championship teams without a top flight quarterback. And I detest team that bypass picking a good quarterback. Because trust me, as a Steeler fan, I suffer for many years with a team with a great defense and garbage at quarterback. Yes, even Cordell Stewart, garbage. It doesn't matter. As soon as Tom come back, the rest of the season is over for all team. It was already over, my friend. They didn't need Tom. Let's make it straight. The Patriots has won without Tom, with a third string rookie quarterback last week. It doesn't matter. Every team plays scared. I'm not a New England Patriots fan. My family in Boston are huge New England Patriots fan. Oh, half man, half amazing. Yes, being an Eagles fan, suffering. I'm not gonna compare your suffering to my suffering, but make no mistake, McNabb was no franchise quarterback. Okay, when it comes down to it, McNabb was a decent quarterback, but in my opinion, he was never top flight. So him not winning big, not a surprise. Now Broncos has done very well. Broncos is another team that there's two teams in the NFL that I tip my cap to. I don't like them, but I respect the organization because they draft well, they coach well, they play well. Patriots and of course Denver, two teams are just top of the great range because they have high football IQs, top down. Okay, I had a long conversation with another friend just 2 days ago that I think when it comes down to football, not enough attention is given to football IQs. There's a lot of great athletes, not a whole lot of IQs. As far as comic books, I haven't bought anything big, but I am working on a pretty major deal that could be huge. Okay, too early, way too early to talk about because nothing is cemented. But it has been a long time since I bought a collection, and I am in discussion with a person about a potential big Silver Age collection. Yeah, yeah. Whew. It's gonna cost some money. But we'll see. Like I said, it's very early, extremely early. So we're at the first inning. Okay, so far, some books have been shown, some pictures have been shared, some eye candies has been drooled over, and some prices have been discussed on the few books that I have seen. But I have only seen a tiny glimpse of the whole collection. So until I see more and the rest, we'll see. I might not be able to swallow the entire whale. Comic Preacher, it's about, from what I heard, roughly 2,000. Roughly 2,000, yes. I have seen about 50. I have seen 50 of the 2,000. And out of 50 or 60 books or so that I have seen, half are, I mean, when you see Silver Age, that is like 9.4, untouched, unpressed, that look near mint, you can't help but say, yeah, that was my reaction. These books had been sitting there, white page, not in Mylar, not in acid-free stuff. How? The comic god has been very nice to these books. Yes, Nate, I will keep the dialogue going with the owner. Well, the tough part is I'm not dealing with the owner. I'm dealing with a middleman. Okay, so, and the middleman know me very well. Okay, the middleman has been a buyer for me for a long time. I have a friend. I wouldn't call him a friend. I have a few middlemen that I have worked with over the past many years. They know what I want. They know what I can pay. And whenever they see something, they contact me and they will act as a middleman, whether it's at a convention. In the past, there have been a few occasions when they attend a convention and they saw something that they thought I was looking for, and they would email me, text me, or call me and say, Nick, we saw this. Do you want it? We buy it for you. Just give us, $50 commission for making a deal for you, and it's done. So one of these middlemen have approached me with a nice Silver Age potential. So yeah, you can call it a broker. It's more like a collector. Over the years, Caesar, I have befriended a few collectors that help me buy things. It's in many ways, it's very nice of them to offer me this because it's not a two-way street. You know, like I don't go to conventions, I don't go to garage sales, I don't do any of these things, but these guys do. They do the hunt. Okay, they the one that will call me up and say, Nick, you know, we at a garage sale, we see this and that. Do you want it? And 9 out of 10 times it's a no deal because it's something not something I want, or the price is not right. So it's not as if they bring me deals on a daily, weekly, monthly. No, sometimes it's twice a year, sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's. This is the first time that this guy had brought me any deal in over a year. So I haven't heard from him in a long time, but he called me up and said, you know, I stumbled across a collection of Silver Age of about 2,000 books, mostly high grade. That's what that's what caught my attention. He knows what I'm looking for, right? So he used a word. He used the catchword, mostly high grades and Silver Age. I mean, I heard that. I'm just like, you got my attention. Yes. Go on. Yeah, and they do get a cut. You know, the way I do it is, you know, we usually, it's case by case. Okay, it's case by case. It's not about, you know, it's any set amount. You know, when I sold my Amazing Fantasy 15 years ago, you know, I pay a middleman some money because I didn't have to sell it and give 10% to Comic Link or Heritage, you know. So I'm always nice toward the middle guy because I know that they saving me money, finding things that I can't find myself. So it's a win-win. They try, they are a good negotiator. Okay. At the end of the day, they know that for them to make the money, I have to close the deal. So it's not as if they're gonna find a book for me and I'm gonna buy it. They're gonna find the book for me and they will do their best to negotiate the best price they can for me so that I will buy the books and then they get a commissions. So that's how it works. It's not that, you know, Nick is not gonna pay top dollar for anything. Gotham, hello. So hopefully I will be able to close the deal. They did tell me that the owner, well, he told me that the owner of this collection of 2,000 books is open to sell individual books and not the entire 2,000 books. Okay, he preferred to sell all 2,000 books and not have to deal with, you know, selling one here, one there, which is I understand. But when it comes down to buying the entire 2,000 books, the flip side is that you're gonna have to sell them at a bigger discount because nobody's gonna pay you top premiums for the entire collection. Okay, that's another advice I can give to people that I have been approached a few times from friends that say, Nick, how do you sell your collection? I have, you know, 3,000 books, 5,000 books. How do I sell my collection? I have heard that question a few times. And here are some of my advice. Okay, first, how much work do you want to put into it? Because it comes down to, you will get more money if you're willing to put more work in it. If you're willing to go through the pain and times of scanning each book individually, to list each book individually, most likely you will get more money than selling books in lots. Most likely you will sell a lot more money. You will get a lot more money than sell the entire collection in one swoop. Okay, so there's 3 levels: individual books, lots, and the entire collection. There's 3 levels of sell, and a lot of people are just not willing to go through the pain and suffering of selling individual books. Even if you have 2,000 books, selling 2,000 books individually is not easy. It's not easy. It can be done. I have done that. I've been through that. I can do it. But for a lot of folks that have never sold anything, the thought of sitting here and selling 2,000 listing on eBay is overwhelming. Okay. Gotta got this question, Nick. Dr. John Schiller asks, wouldn't be a live chat without me asking about your favorite cover, Captain America. Captain America. Well, without a doubt, Golden Age will be Captain America 1. I thought that is a classic, all-time awesome cover, and I don't have it. Most likely will never own a copy of Captain America 1, so will never own it. As far as Silver Age Captain America, woo, that's a doozy. It's definitely not 100. I'm never a big fan of 100, even though that's the one that launched the title. I'm not a big fan of that one. I can tell you, as I think through the answer, I would have to rule out many things. Like 117, the first Falcon. I love Gene Colan, but to me, 117 has always been boring to me. 113, the Steranko with the statue, that looked pretty cool, but that's not my favorite. 109 is pretty cool. Could that be in the running for favorite? 109 is cool because it's unique. I like the way the cover look with the newsprint. That's adds something to that. It could be 109. You know, I'm trying to think between 101, 102, 103, 104. I don't think there's anything. They're all nice cover. Okay, make no mistake. You know, a lot of those early issue from 100 to 113 to 117, a lot of those covers are decent. I thought 113, 117 was kind of boring. 100 was kind of boring, but for the rest of the numbers, I thought they are decent covers. But for some reason, 109 kind of jump out often, just because I just like the way the newsprint background look. It looked pretty cool. The Steranko cover with the Hulk is also pretty cool, but that's a toss-up between those two issues, I would say. But 109 has the edge. Steranko with the Hulk has the other edge, but 109 it's a looker. It's hard for me not to look at 109 whenever I see a copy. Okay, whenever I see a copy in an auction or wherever, I had to look, because it's just one of those books that, you know, my eyes always drawn to. Sleepy is here. Sleepy reader, Damien. Early morning for you in the Pacific Northwest. It's 11:45. I just saw the time. So in about 15 minutes, I will close down this live chat. So thank you everyone so far for joining, and keep everything lively. I still had some residual drools from seeing your snacks from yesterday. What was it that you see? Are you talking about my hauls or somebody else's hauls? I don't think you're talking about my haul, because I don't think I have any hauls yesterday, at least not recently. Yes, hello, Damien. 106. Yeah, 106 is pretty cool too. Like I said, you know, with the exclusion of 100 and 117, you know, many of the middle one are pretty cool. But 109, I think I'm gonna have to make my decision and answer Dr. Von Schiller question, and it's gonna be 109 is my favorite Silver Age Captain America cover. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Kyle from New Zealand. Thank you for joining the chat. Nate said that I like copies of 109 with tanning, which is common. It is. You know, I have seen many 109 and they all have the yellowing, tanning cover. Not that I agree with Nate that the tanning make it look more the newsprint more real. But I would love to see a white page 109, a white color, a white cover 109. Very tough. Just like Forever People #1. Forever People #1 is one of those Silver Age, late Silver Age, early Bronze books that the white is always yellowish, or it's never white. I have never seen a Forever People #1 that is white. Okay, so she's talking about Sleepy Reader. Yes, Rez. Sleepy Reader and his Wednesday hauls are usually pretty big, major stuff. That clone, I'm surprised you didn't consider Avenger 4. No, I am not a fan of Avenger 4, in all honesty. I have never liked that cover. I know it's shocking for people to hear that Nick doesn't like something Kirby did, but yes, I can be honest that the drawing of Captain America, the problem with Avenger 4 for me is I felt that the depth and the sizing of all the character is all out of whack. There's something that is just not seem right with the image, the size, and the dimension of all the characters on the cover. And to me, it's definitely not one of Kirby's best. Okay, not when it comes down to Silver Age Marvel, I have said this in other live chat before. I'm not a big fan of many early Spider-Man Steve Ditko covers. I thought they were, for the most part, they're not bad. They're just not awesome covers that are jumping out, at me like classic covers. It's hard for me to put any of those early Avengers or early Spider-Man into a category where I say they're awesome. They're just never awesome to me. By Strictly Comics, I'm guessing Strictly Comics' first name is Edwin. I'm horrible at name. My apology to everybody. I call people by their YouTube name because a lot of time I just don't remember people's name. Okay, unless I talk to you often, like Damien, Nate, John. There's a few people that I know very well because I have discussed privately via emails or whatever. So I know them by first name, but there's a lot of YouTubers that may have subscribed to me for 3 or 4 years, and I just don't remember the name. No, that clone, I agree. A lot of people love Avenger 4, so I'm just one of the odd one that doesn't care for it. In fact, I didn't care for it enough that I have never owned a copy. I have had a chance to buy Avenger 4 many times, and I just never get excited enough to own a copy. Yes, Spider-Man 19, that's a good cover. I like that one. That's the big Spider-Man swinging, right? I have that. In fact, that's one of the earlier raw Spider-Man Silver Age book that I bought was that cover. That cover caught me. I bought 2 of my earliest Spider-Man Silver Age book that I bought was that one, number 19, as far as raw, and issue 4. In hindsight, I thought issue 4 cover was kind of boring too. But that's it. Let's see. I shot a Sarasota vlog this morning. This morning I woke up early, went for a drive, and shot a vlog. So look for that tomorrow. I shot it for those that watch my vlog of Sarasota earlier this week when I did that one video. I did the same thing. I put the camera on my dashboard and went for a drive and then walk around a little bit. I have no idea what the video looked like yet. That's why I have not loaded. I need to load the video into my computer and see how badly the camera shaking is. Hopefully it's not going to be bad. Then I will load that. I did that. I have been busy this past week making shooting new videos. I did that. I did a 2-part artist spotlight on Val Mayerick. I did a whole bunch of other videos, must-see movies, all kind of stuff. So hopefully I will load those. My goal is to load 4 video a week on top of the live chat. That's more than enough. But at least 3 videos a week. I try to mix it up. Okay, from a video about movies to another video about comic books to a video about maybe Sarasota, and then whatever the live chat topic is. That clone have an Adventure 4 with Kirby signature. Now that's a rarity. That's cool. If there is any signature that I always love to hear and see, is Kirby's signature, because Kirby is long gone and he's always signed inside the book most of the time. Not always. I have seen Kirby sign on the cover here and there, but I have seen a Hulk 1 with Kirby sick inside, and man, would I love to own that copy. Yes, Sleepy Damien. I think the 2-part Val Mayerick video is going to be very interesting for a lot of people, because Val Mayerick is a name that a lot of people have no idea about, and hopefully people will enjoy the 2-part artist spotlight there and find his work to be awesome. I did. Bernie Wrightson. Yes, Bernie Wrightson. Yes, Dr. Von Schiller said that he's not a signature guy, but the signature that always excites him is Bernie Wrightson. Bernie Wrightson, to me, is one of the prettiest signature out there to go along with, say, somebody like Walt Simonson. I think when I see signature of many creators, I love to see a beautiful signature that is an art by itself. Like Bernie Wrightson is very artistic. The lines flow beautifully. It's not a sloppy mess. Same thing with Walt Simonson. The signature is a beautiful dinosaur-ish looking symbol. But like Stan Lee, nothing big. Jack Kirby's signature is nothing awesome. It's more awesome that it's Jack Kirby than the look of the signature, or say Joe Sinnott or John Romita. There's a lot of signature that's okay. I thought Todd McFarlane signature look pretty. Okay, it's just something about the way they sign it and make it look pretty. But when I see somebody like Chris Claremont sign, I enjoy Chris Claremont writing, but my God, when I see that, yay, no. Gil Kane is another classic signature that there's a lot of old timer that's signed in a way that you can read. Okay, like Gil Kane, Jack Kirby, John Romita, John Buscema, all these guys signed in a matter that back in the old days, you had to sign, your signature had to be legible. So when you see somebody like Jack Abel or even Joe Sinnott, they all sign very clearly. It might not be artistically gorgeous like Bernie Wrightson or Walt Simonson, but it's legible. And then you go into like Chris Claremont or Rob Liefeld or other people, and it's just a hot mess. A hot mess. Now John Byrne has a pretty signature. You know, I also think that John Byrne had a very artistic signature. Whereas Star Slammers, I have a Star Slammers with Walt Simonson signature. Yes, a YouTuber was nice enough to get that for me. He was going to attend a convention where Walt Simonson was going to be, and he contacted me, and I sent him my copy of Star Slammers, and he got Walt Simonson to sign it for me. So love it, love it. Okay, if there's anything that I would love him to sign, would be Star Slammer, and I got it. Barry Smith have a beautiful signature, but his latest signature, holy mess. Barry Smith had went through I have seen 3 evolution of signatures. The first one, you can read Barry Smith. The next one is a bunch of lines. And then now it's, well, his most recent signature is just, you can't make anything out of it. Classic Iconic Point says it's a hot mess because they are trying to sign 500 books in 1 hour. That's one of it. But at the same time, Classic Iconic Point, I disagree, because Stan Lee signed a whole lot more, and at least you can still see Stan Lee. It's not a hot mess of lines. When I see many creators' signature, it's just a hot mess of lines, and they're not 90 something. And for sure, they don't sign as many as Stan the Man. Nate said Chris Claremont's signature messiness and hyperbolic shape match his personality. I have always thought. I love his writing, but that Claremont character is so damn cocky. Indeed. Indeed, I have to agree there. Matt Fraction. Sleepy Reader got a signature from Matt Fraction. I need to check out his signature to see, oh, there's a mosquito flying around that I want to kill. Yes, Dr. Von Schiller, if I can find some samples of Barry Smith's signature today, you will be floored. The last time I saw a signature from Barry Smith was on Savage Tales #1, auctioned off by Comic Connect. It has his signature, and my God, it literally is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 8 pointy jagged line. It was like mind-boggling, not good. I have the earlier Barry Smith signature on my Conan 1, and it was a beautiful Barry Smith. I have seen the 3rd version. Well, he signed as Barry Smith, and then he has signed as Barry Windsor Smith. I have seen a signature where he signed Barry Windsor Smith. Beautiful. It has that Bernie Wrightson, Walt Simonson kind of style. Beautiful. And then I saw the jagged line, more recent, and it's just a hot mess. And when it comes down to signature, who else has a beautiful signature? Well, you know, Frank Miller signature used to be pretty cool. I like the original Frank Miller signature. I thought that was, and now it is just a line. On his recent stuff, Frank's signature is just a line or 2. If you can read it, it's like F and M. I think that's what the 2 or 3 lines supposed to be, right? It's too bad, because I seen Frank Miller's signature in his early days, and it looked pretty cool. It's a classic kind of signature where you can read. Frank Miller. You can make it out as Frank Miller, and then it slowly evolved into F and M, right? And now it's just a line. Anyhow, it's 12:02. It's time for me to get ready for lunch and chill. Yes, Nate, you agree on Frank recent signature, and it's it's a personal thing. When it comes down to it, I'm sure there are people that's gonna watch this later and say, "Oh, how dare you make a bad comment on Frank Miller's signature?" It's a personal taste. We're all entitled to personal taste. But anyhow, time for me to enjoy my Sunday lunch, and I will keep everybody in tab as far as my hunt for that Silver Age collection. Yeah, me. I can't wait. Anyhow, have a good Sunday, everybody. Bye, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Later.